So now the thing is that if you are planning to go with the workflow and you see that you know you cannot, as I told you, cannot build a condition on sublist field. Or you cannot put a lot of logic on the sublist field. Then what you do? Then you go with the workflow action script, write that logic there and attach it to the workflow. If you don't want to go with the entire concept of this, you can write your entire logic on user event script. User event script is also again the same, but workflow is something which is easily configurable and customizable, and a functional person can do it. You don't actually need technical developer to create a customize the workflow. That is why, you will see a lot of places. People prefer workflow because it is a native functionality. You're not writing any additional piece of code. There's nothing called optimization on anything, because coding obviously there's a possibility of optimizing your script. And based on that will trigger, or based on that will work. But workflow is a native functionality. You would just create configure it, use it, define the right action. And then people prefer workflow. But if there is something which cannot be achieved through workflow, you can write a workflow script or move this entire logic altogether to user event script. So, as I told you, we have only one function called onAction. The parameter is same, which is script context as it is, as there in user event also, you get a new record. Context type and everything using that parameter. Right. So what we are doing here? We are basically validating. If there is any line where quantity is 0, then you will return it. Return to the workflow. And that workflow will throw an error. Now you understood, we are building. You understand that we are building a logic or a line they will feed which is not directly available in workflow. That is why we are writing a script. Because we need to build a logic on quantity wherever the point, whichever line, has quantity of 0 on a sales order, for that matter. The script will check it or validate it, and then it will return back to the workflow saying that this is basically a false return. False or return 0. And then this is, which means that is where there is an error, and then workflow will respond, or, trigger it accordingly or treat it accordingly. This is very, very, very similar to user event, so what you do is script, context new record will give you the record object. Then you pass through all the lines. So we have this API called getLineCount and newRecord. GetLineCount, where you get the line count because you need to run the loop that many times and then you run the loop here. So there's one difference you guys should know. In SuiteScript 1.0, the index starts from 1 to the number of lines. In SuiteScript 2.0, the index starts from 0. So let's say there are 4 lines. So indexing will be 0, 1, 2, 3 in SuiteScript 2.0. In SuiteScript 1.0 it will be 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that is one major difference you should understand. So whenever you're running a loop, you will start it from 0. And then run it for the less than 1 sort of thing. Like you run it less than item count. So there are 4 lines. It will be 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, now what we are doing? We are running this loop inside the loop. For every line, we are fetching the quantity within getSublist value. Where the sublist ID is, sublist is item and field ID is quantity. So we will get the quantity here, and then we have a condition. If quantity is 0, we are returning 0, or we can say return false. Anything is fine. Which means it will go back to the workflow. Otherwise, at the end you have returned 1 and then you have a return statement to map it to the function name. So on, action is the function name actually, and the script is also having the same function name. Very small piece of logic, right? So whatever we can whatever we can actually client script. Sorry, not client script. User event script. You can achieve the same functionality here as well. But as far as I know, this script also has 1,000 limit governance unit. Yeah, I can open a page where you have all the governance, you limit, define where it shows you all the script with governance limits, so that we know. Right, so workflow action script. Okay. So let me go to customization script and you have a flow action. So the same thing, you upload a file, you create a script record. You will see the script version and function already checked. So we have one reaction function, right? And then what I didn't deploy it. Okay. And okay. Let's see, here I create a new action. Which is your? Oh, because I have not deployed and we have this workflow deployed. So let me change it initially. Let me make it on sales order, because that script is written on sales order. We've done now, for that script, I'll deploy it to sales order. You. Thank you for taking. What? And so you log level debug, execute as admin. Save now the. We have this workflow action script right now when if I come to this workflow edit here, try to add a new action. You see this list of this script here. You can select this here. Okay, store fields, store resultant, so you need to create. So because we are returning true or false, 0 or 1 right, so we need to create a workflow field. Okay. Find some caudate. Make sure you specify the. We can specify this on a parameter tab of a quote. Create a workflow field here. And then what do we create a workflow field? Create a card. We should. Sorry, I'm missing that workflow field creation here.